What's up guys, this is Darkbblue, a gamer who loves Souls-like games, looter games, and every game that involves build making. This is my first character guide of Granblue Fantasy Relink. It's about my favorite character currently, Zeta. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Now let's dive right into it. I feel that every character in Granblue Fantasy Relink has quite simple and straightforward mechanics, which makes them easy to learn as beginners. However, when you play a character for a long time, you will notice some more advanced things. There might be some tricks or glitches to enhance character performance, or some tactic experiences accumulated from real combat. A character guide should focus on such advanced topics, not the basic mechanics. So let's have a quick look at Zeta's basic mechanics. She has a special airborne stance, which can only be entered with certain means. In this stance, the light attack is replaced with a bounce back attack, and heavy is now a finisher. The bounce back attack allows you to stay airborne virtually forever. To perform it, you need to press the button at the just time, basically before you hit the target. Although you can chain bounce back endlessly, its damage is just not that good, so its major usage is to charge the finisher. After 3 successful bounce back attacks, the name of this finisher will change, showing that it's now fully charged. Generally, Zeta has a mixed mechanic consisting of stance, combo, and just time. Her basic combo should be go into the stance, do 3 bounce back, and do the finisher. However, this is too ideal. In real combat, the best tactic keeps changing. Let's talk about real combats next. In my understanding, the core of Zeta's tactic is twofold: how to go into the stance and what to do when you are in the stance. So how can we go airborne? I usually first judge if I can hit the enemy while standing on the ground. If so, I will then check if my thrust skill is ready. This skill is the fastest way to go airborne. If it's still in cooldown, I will instead use a light attack combo. There's another choice, parry, as a heavy attack. A successful parry will also send you airborne. But to be honest, I don't quite like the feeling of this parry, so I rarely use it. So that's how to go airborne when you can hit the target on the ground, but you will come into cases when you cannot, such as Proto-Baha mode under SBA attack. In such cases, use mid-air light combo instead. In addition, you can press light attack after a link attack to go airborne instantly. Next, let's talk about what to do while in the stance. The following principles serve 3 purposes: DPS, survival, and control. If you aim to deal more damage, use high frequency bounce back by default, aka dive down immediately after bouncing back. Keep bouncing back until you fully charge the finisher. Normally, you need 3 bounce back. If you go airborne after a link attack, you can use the finisher without any bounce back. If you are in link time, it takes only 1 bounce back. Sometimes, you may be forced to use the finisher before it's fully charged. For example, maybe the enemy leaps away from you, and only the finisher can reach it. Or maybe you have triggered a link attack. The time lap before the window ends doesn't allow you to do a complete combo. That was need to be considered when aiming at higher DPS. Although you can use a fully charged finisher in most time, there are situations when you are forced to use an undercharged one. Then what about survival? Clearly, Zeta gains her survivability through a very unique means. By staying airborne, she can simply stay out of most attacks. No block or dodge is required. But being airborne is not always 100% safe. That's why we need to discuss survival. There are 3 typical positions for Zeta. The highest point after she's bounced back, which is the safest. The position when she's close to the enemy, which is more dangerous but still safer than being on the ground. And of course, when you use the finisher, Zeta will go back to the ground, which is the most dangerous. If all the above positions are safe, you don't need to mind survival, just use the best DPS rotation. If solely the ground is not safe, keep bouncing back even if the finisher is charged. Do this until the ground becomes safe or your finisher is enough to trigger a link attack, staggering the enemy. If you are only safe in the highest position, now you need to control how frequently you dive down. Know that you can dive down at different times after bouncing back. You can even do a mid-air dodge to further delay the diving down. By doing so, you may align your frequency with the enemy's pace, ensuring that the enemy is not attacking when you are at a lower position. There's a special case, staying airborne to dodge a whole rampage. Use low-frequency bouncing back to lower your chance to fail to bounce back. In conclusion, if you want better survivability, the two principles are to keep bouncing back after the finisher is charged until it's safe, and to control how frequently you dive down. The last common purpose is control. You may want to exploit the power of the finisher to skip overdrive. Apparently, the finisher is much stronger than light attacks as to this goal, but you still have to perform 3 bounce back to charge it. You won't have enough time to do this if you start to take off only when the enemy is about to overdrive. Therefore, you need to go airborne in advance. Keep bouncing back until the enemy has gone overdrive, then use the finisher. The same principle applies in other cases if you want better control. Now you can see, although Zeta has a pretty simple basic combo, it changes in real combat. You need to accumulate your own experience, carving it into your instinct. My video is only showing you what to expect when you have done it. You won't really have the time to refer to my video in combat. There's a glitch for Zeta. If you have supplementary damage sigils or use the skill Vengeful Flames, it's possible to deal damage twice in one diving down. If you bounce back at the second damage instead of the usual first one, it'll count as 2 diving downs. In this way, you can charge the finisher with only 2 bounce back attacks, which is much more efficient. But I need to remind you that practicing this glitch might ruin your muscle memory. That's all about Zeta's core tactics. Next, it's time for a quick review of our skills. So basically, I always carry the 3 skills. Spear of Arvus, the best way to go airborne. Vengeful Flames, good DPS buff that can bypass damage cap. Infinite Wonders, a good way to inflict the personal debuff and deal damage in short windows. For the last slot, you have 4 choices. Ring of Fury is a general choice, just treat it as a DPS skill, don't care about the attack down debuff. Thousand Flames is also a good choice that can be used in 2 ways. You can use it to remove enemy's buff. It also has strong stun effect, so it can be used for control. Wind Cleaver, the paralysis skill, is in fact not that good. It has a very long preparation stage and the effect lasts pretty short. It won't make much difference unless you have a good synergy with your teammates, letting them deal enough damage or stun during the short window. Otherwise, I'd recommend Thousand Flames for control instead. As for the parry skill, it indeed has better performance than your basic heavy attack parry, but it's still a parry. The last skill, Signal Drive, is useless since Zeta already hits the damage cap. It may become more useful in the future, but at present, just don't use it. There's also some advice on builds. I just skipped the common power damage cap and some basic survival sigils. Let's directly go into attack environment and extra survivability. So, Zeta needs uninterruptibility definitely, it changes your life. But what about improved guard and improved dodge? Zeta doesn't synergize with improved guard because if you block, you will quit the airborne stance. And improved dodge is optional, you can equip it but you don't have to. Zeta stays out of attack ranges to be safe in most cases, but an improved dodge sigil can still be helpful in those rare cases. Now this is my experiences as a Zeta player, hope you find it useful. If you like my story or want to join me into depth of games, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, see you around.